Hey, what's up? My name's Samuel Leeds. I am a property investor, and in this video, I'm going to be answering your property investment questions. So if you've got any questions about property, business, finance, tax, mortgages, lease option agreements, rent-to-rents, tenants, comment them below in the comment box, and next week I'm going to be answering your question. Also, don't forget to subscribe, because if you comment below and I answer your question next week, you might not even know that I answered it because you weren't subscribed and you missed the video. So smash the subscribe button, turn the notification bell on, and if you like my videos, please do me a massive favor and smash the like button. The thumb should be pointing up and it should be blue. So let's see what questions we had last week. So we had a question from Alex Thompson, who said, what legal documents do you need to start co-deal sourcing, as I want to use this as funds to start a deal sourcing company and leverage to buy properties. By the way, I highly appreciate all what you do for people. Thank you so much, Alex. So what documents do you need to do co-deal sourcing? The good news is you don't need any documents. You don't need anything to start co-deal sourcing. All you need is deals, because co-deal sourcing is when you find a deal and then you pass it to a deal sourcer, and the deal sourcer sells it and deals with everything and all the paperwork, and you just get paid. So the only thing that you might want is you might want an agreement between you and the deal sourcer, but this you could write yourself. You could get an NDA, but to be honest, you don't absolutely need it. You just need a deal sourcer that you can trust to begin with. So that's my advice. So go knock yourself out and go make some money. Harley Barton, is there a minimum age for rent-to-rents and deal sourcing, and if so, what is it? Listen, Harley, there is and there isn't. So minimum age for property investing, so to buy a house, you generally need to be 18. In fact, to get a contract or just about to do anything, you normally need to be 18. To get a buy-to-let mortgage, you need to be 21. However, don't let that stop you. I was just with a guy today, his name's Joshua, and I was in Hull, and Joshua bought his first house. He's bought it, he's refinanced it, he's pulled all his money out, bar £63, great little house. He is 18 years old. I met him when he was 17 years old, and I've mentored him and trained him, and he's 18. How did he do it? He did it because he got his parents to be a host and to be a guarantor for him for the property. So that was his solution. And there's lots of other things you can do. So the thing is, if you are valuable, if you can find good deals, everything else will fall into place. So never let age stop you. Believe me, if you're 16 years old, but you can find really good houses that are worth 200 grand, but you negotiate them down to 150, £50,000 discount, do you think everyone's gonna go, no, not interested, you're only 15, no, not interested? No! The market doesn't discriminate whether you are black, white, woman, man, 15, 50, no one cares. The only thing we care about as a marketplace and as an economy is that you can provide value. So that's that. And also, you can always flip the cards. If you feel disadvantaged because you're a woman or because you're young or because you're old or whatever it might be, remember, mostly that's in your head. Now, I'm not saying that there aren't sometimes disadvantages, but the thing is you can flip the cards. And what I mean by that is you can turn your disadvantage into an advantage. An example of that would be when I started and I was 17 years old, I had no education, I was not experienced, I had no money, and I'm a teenager. I flipped the cards because what I did was I started getting around people who were property investors, and I started helping them and working for them for free. And because I was young, it was almost like an excuse to not have loads of knowledge. So I could ask questions that people who were 37 wouldn't have the bottle to ask. But I'm like, I'm 17, it's all good. And what I found was I flipped the cards and people started helping me because I was young. They're like, this kid's pretty knowledgeable, he's pretty courageous, he's got good energy, he's young, and people wanted to help me because I was young. So that's what I mean by flipping the cards. And everyone's dealt cards, everyone's given cards. And what I mean by that is you're born and everyone's got different situations. We're not born the same. Some people are born into a rich family, a poor family, and some people go through university, their parents fund them, others can't have the opportunity to do that. So we're all handed different cards in life. You got to look at your cards and then play the game to win and deal your cards the best you possibly can and make the most of your situation. So if you're young, just go for it and find solutions, don't find problems. Don't find excuses, find value, and then go and crush the marketplace. Hope you find that helpful. Again, smash the like button if you enjoy this video, if you're finding it useful. All right, next question is from Sierran. He says, hi, I've got a development. I've got 50% of the money needed. How do I get investors? I don't want to use any sort of finance. I hate to break it to you, but if you're looking for investors, that is finance. So if you've got 50% of the money, I don't know why you don't want finance, but just go get finance. To me, that doesn't sound logical. I don't want to get a mortgage, but I want to find the money from private investors. I don't know if there's a reason, if it's a religious reason maybe. If so, fair enough, I respect that. But from a commercial viewpoint, I'm not quite sure where you're coming from. So maybe ask me another question with a bit more detail around the circumstances and I'll do my best to help. Hope that helps. Hamza says, hey Samuel, if you refinance your house, do you have to pay stamp duty or any type of taxes? No, you do not pay any taxes if you refinance your house and you do not pay stamp duty. Andrew Taylor says, hope you're well, Samuel. My question is it wise to refinance your own home to purchase my own BRRR property? I'm a builder, so I do a lot of work myself, and anything I can't do, I have brilliant links for. Andrew Taylor, yes, I would say it is wise to do that, because if you've got equity in your own home, and you have the ability to take that money out of your home and put it into a property which you can buy, add value as a builder, refinance, geez, you could take that money, you could put it back into your home, and now you've got two houses. Or you could take the money back and then go do the same thing with a third house and recycle and grow your wealth. So 100%. I often find with builders and, to be honest, a lot of property professionals, and I would say a builder is a property professional, and maybe a property tax accountant, a construction officer, a letting agent, an estate agent. They're really good at property and they're really good at making other people money. But sometimes when it comes to making money themselves in the game, they have a mental blank or they don't quite get it. So of course it makes sense, Andrew. Go take that equity, grow it, make money. You've got the skills, you've got the links, and keep me posted how you get on. Jonathan says, could you give some tips on how to secure direct bookings for serviced accommodation rather than through OTAs, which is online travel agents? So yeah, if you want to get direct bookings, I mean, of course you can set up a little website. You can make a website on Wix for free and it can be your own thing, which can have a calendar on it. The best way to get direct bookings though is to keep a CRM system, a customer relations management system. And again, you can use something like MailChimp or All Clients, which are peanuts next to nothing. It might cost you nothing to £20 a month. And when you get a booking through booking.com or whoever the OTA is, keep the person's details. Booking.com is no different from like a dating agency. What they're doing is they're bringing you, the owner or the person who's got the accommodation, with someone that wants to stay there. So if you keep their details and then you grow your list of people that stayed there once, that means they've stayed there, they probably liked it, maybe they left you a review, and then every so often you can message them and just say, hey, I know you stayed here before, we're doing a special offer, come back, so you can grow your list. That's probably the best way to get direct bookings. If you get people from direct bookings, it's good because you don't pay any fees. Booking.com charge like 15%, so you're saving straight away, so you can afford to offer discounts. Also, if you get direct bookings, because they've been to the property before and they like it, you tend to get people that stay longer, which is also really, really nice. So hope that helps, and I hope that you kill it in service accommodation. Next, Mahaiba. I hope I pronounced that right. I'm sure I didn't. My question is, can you write up the NDA contract by yourself or does it have to be from a solicitor? Great content, by the way. 16 years old, hoping one day to be on Winners on a Wednesday. You're going to be on Winners on a Wednesday, I have no doubt. So you can draw up an NDA yourself. An NDA, by the way, for anyone that doesn't know, is a non-disclosure agreement. And honestly, people think that for a contract to be legally binding, you need to have a solicitor draw it up. This is completely not the case. If a contract has been drawn up, even if it's just an email thread, if it's black and white and it's clear and it's in plain English with no solicitor, it is legally binding in court. And I've gone to court in the past and I've won based on literally an email thread or a contract that I just banged up myself in 10 minutes. So sometimes you do want a solicitor to come on board and write the contracts if it's a complicated thing, or if you're doing an agreement where you can't afford for it to go wrong because there's a lot of money at stake, 100% get a solicitor. Or if you're buying a house, of course, get a solicitor. But to have a confidentiality agreement or an NDA agreement, you could get a solicitor drawn up, but don't think that you can't do it yourself, and don't think that it's not legally binding just because you drew it up yourself, because that's not the case. And I wouldn't suggest for a 16-year-old like yourself, you start spending hundreds or maybe even thousands of pounds getting solicitors draw up contracts. If you're 16, you probably haven't got much money, you've not got much to lose. I'd probably just write something in plain English. But I can't advise because I don't know exactly what you're talking about, but I hope you found that helpful. And next, burning desire. Hi Samuel, just a topic I was thinking back of my head which may change the mentality of many people. Like it. Do rich people buy their cars on finance or should they cash it out? Based on how you mentor people, I think you'll say finance it and invest what you have in the bank. Is this leverage good or is it bad debt? So burning desire, I would generally probably guide people to lease their vehicles. Now, just to be really transparent, my Range Rover, I do own that. I did buy that car. And it's funny, I have to almost put like a disclaimer that I own it. Normally it'd be the other way around. Normally it'd be like I lease it, but for me, because I preach lease what you own, the only reason I bought my Range Rover, I don't know why I bought it. I just really liked it. And I've leased cars for a very long time, and I had plenty of money. I just thought, why not buy it? And also the leasing was so expensive, I don't actually think it worked out much different because I wanted to have the car for a long time. I paid £126,000 to buy my Range Rover, but generally it makes sense to lease it, and here's why. Because same with a house, it makes sense to lease your house. Anything that's not going to give you money, anything that's not an asset, you should just lease it, and then you should use your money to buy assets which give you money, and then that money you're then going to lease. I know it's a bit of a mind shift for some people, but this is a more commercially savvy way to do business. It makes more financial sense, and it's what most rich people do. Certainly people that I know that are wealthy. So I hope that helps. Thank you so much for your question. All right, Rishi says, hey man, show us how to find a deal and do proper due diligence on it. Take a few examples on a YouTube video, like seeing, e.g., 10 properties or more and making sure it's a deal. Okay. I think that's more of an idea than a question, but I like it. So basically, you want me to go out, view a whole bunch of houses, and then go around the houses and talk about which one I want and which ones I don't and why and okay, good idea. I will note that. I'll tell my videographer who's behind the video, note that, and I'll do that at some point. In fact, I love this. If you've got any ideas, if you want to see me do something on YouTube, or if you've got any challenges or any ideas or things you want to learn, things you want to see, as well as just questions, comment them below. I read every single comment. Okay, next, Brian says, hey Samuel, I've been a subscriber for a couple months now. Loving your videos, man. Keep it up. I'm 19. I love having these teenagers on here. It's so cool. Last week we had like a 70-year-old asking questions. Now we've got 19-year-olds, and it's awesome. I'd like to be a property investor and have got a small amount in savings. With stamp duty being cut out until March, I am lost on what strategy to pursue to get my foot through the door in property. Do I raise finance and pursue a BRRR strategy, or do I pursue rent-to-rent or lease options and possibly miss the window of paying no stamp duty? Would like to know your take. Okay, Brian, firstly, the whole stamp duty holiday thing, that is not for investors. That's for if you're buying a house to live in. So the whole idea of missing the window, sorry to break it to you, but that doesn't apply. However, the good news is if you're doing BRRR as a strategy, you're probably not going to pay stamp duty anyway, because BRRR is when you buy a house, normally, that's unmortgageable, and then you refurbish it, and then you refinance it, and then you rent it. But if you're buying a house that's unmortgageable, you're probably not going to pay stamp duty anyway, because if you're buying a house that's inhabitable, you're not going to pay stamp duty. However, don't let the tail wag the dog. Don't think, how can I avoid stamp duty? How can I choose a strategy that's tax efficient? You want to think about, how can I choose a strategy that's going to make me the most money, that's going to serve my goals? So what I would say is, what do you want from property? Property is a vehicle. Do you want cash flow? Do you want to build wealth and get capital appreciation? What do you want? Do you want to replace your income? And then decide what your personal goals are in business, and then find a strategy. Forget the whole stamp duty thing. Just find a strategy that's going to serve you in your journey, and then go out to town and kill that one strategy and focus in on that one strategy. So hope that helps, and good luck. Okay, next. Lisa Ross, would you need planning permission to turn a 4-bedroomed house into a HMO? No, you will only need planning permission if it's in an Article 4 area, or if you're turning it into a 7-bedroom or more. Hope that helps. Lois says, hi Samuel, if you were to do a rent-to-rent, would you have to be responsible for all the repairs on the property, or can you set an agreement on who repairs what? Love your videos, thanks. So no, you don't have to do all the repairs. It's whatever you agree. So you could get them to do the repairs, or you could do the repairs. But if you're doing the repairs, make sure that you have a limiter on it. So if a rent-to-rent deal, you'll say, I'll take care of the repairs as long as it's not more than £400. And as long as it's not an external problem. And what that means is, with properties, if there's ever repairs, it's either an internal or an external repair. An internal repair will be something to do with the inside of the house. Internal, the door breaks or something internal. External will be something like there's a leaky roof. It's on the outside of the property. So you always want to make sure that the landlord or the owner deals with the external problems with the house, and make sure that there's a limiter, because you don't want the boiler to break and cost you $1,500 2 months into the rent-to-rent agreement, and then you have to fix it. So you're going to say, look, if it's something small, I'll fix it, but it's whatever you agree and it's whatever you put in the contract. Okay, I'm just going to do maybe 1 or maybe 2 more questions. Again, if you're enjoying it, smash the like button. So, Amar, when you mentioned pull all your money out in BRRR, do you mean you get back that money into your bank account? Also, when people mention how they leave a few £1,000s in the property once refurbished and refinanced, what does that mean? Yes, Amar, it means you get the money back in your bank account. Isn't it brilliant? And what that means, if you pull most of your money out, but not all of it, is, so you buy a house, say you buy it for £100,000, you then spend £50,000 on it. So all in, you've put 150 in. Now that might not be your money, that might be bridging money, it could be investors' money, but you've put 150 in. If the new valuation is now 200, you're going to then get a new finance, you're going to refinance, and you're going to pull out 75% of the new value. So 75% of the new value would be 150 grand. So if you've put in 150 and then you value it at 200, which is the new value, you're going to pull out all your money. But if it's down valued, you put 150 in, you push the value up, and now it's only worth 190. When you refinance, you're going to leave 10 grand in the deal. So you're going to get all the money out back in your bank, bar £10,000. So I hope that helps. I know it's a little bit complicated to get your head around, but it's a really, really good strategy. I am going to be running a webinar on buy, refurbish, refinance real soon. So I'll leave a link in the description with the buy, refurbish, refinance webinar. Check it out, free webinar where I go into great detail about how this strategy works. That'll be with me personally, and it's free. Hope that helps. Okay, last question, Mike Kingsnorth. Hi Samuel, I'm a massive fan and you've inspired me to get into property. I've bought my first house, which I've turned into a 5-bed HMO. Oh, fantastic. And just about to complete on my second property and have an offer in on my third. Dude, that's incredible. You need to maybe think about applying for Winners on a Wednesday. Go to winnersonawednesday.com and maybe you need to come on my channel and I can interview you and you can share your experience, because this is something awesome. Also, if you're not already on Samuel 365, get on that. Get on that. Samuel365.com. You're going to get mentoring, training, coaching, starting from £1. It's just insane. So go and check that out, Samuel365.com. Things move very quickly and I can't thank you enough for your videos. My question is though, how much do you make from YouTube? Strange question, I know, but I'd love to also start helping others via this platform. Whoa, there we go. And if making more money is a byproduct of helping others, then I'm all in. Mike Kingsnorth, how much do I make from YouTube? Off the top of my head, I don't know how much I make from YouTube, but I'm very happy to talk about how much I make from YouTube. If you want to know how much I make from YouTube, folks, put it in the comment box below. Just say, yes, Samuel, reveal how much you make from YouTube. I'll do a whole video about it and I'll show the screenshots of how much I make from YouTube. Believe it or not, I don't make that much from doing this. This is, for me, more about helping people, because I believe that if you help people get what they want, ultimately you'll get what you want. So the joint ventures that I get and the branding that I get and the fulfillment that I get is really why I do YouTube. That's why I don't even know how much I make doing YouTube, but for sure I can check and I'll let you know. If you want to see it, comment below. And I don't want to do a whole video about it if no one cares. So if you care, please do comment and let me know. Guys, I love you folks. Thank you so much for watching this. Thank you for your questions. Thank you for your success, because your success is my oxygen. If you're not subscribed already, you can do that right here. And honestly, if you don't subscribe and you watch my videos, bad things are going to start happening to you. All right, subscribe, turn the notification bell on. I'll see you next time.